All right. I'm saying goodbye to my dedicated trail angel at Devil's Slide Trail in Humber Park. I'm going to be heading up there, leaving about 8:30, shooting for probably about a 10-mile hike today. It's a lot of elevation increase. It'll be the highest I get on the trail since I've started. So should be good. All right, so the last couple of days it was intermittent mist and showers and stuff. So took a 0 day in a nice comfy room and soft bed, nice meals and all of that. It's really the first time on the trail that it's been kind of hard to get motivated to get going. You really take for granted the comforts we've got at home, and the first, I don't know, week, 10 days on the trail, it was the excitement of the adventure that was a real motivator to keep you on the trail. So I'm curious to see what my experience is following other 0 days, which are the no mileage days in town. I bet that they're all going to be a little challenge getting the encouragement to get back on the trail, but you got to do it. So a lot of times it's hard to see elevation in video and pictures, but I'm going to see if I can kind of give you an idea. So this is the trail. I'm heading up. That's essentially level. But where I'm going is up over there. So today, like I was saying earlier, is going to have quite a bit of elevation change. Over 3,000 feet, and we're starting at about maybe a little less than 7,000 feet. So we're coming up, I'll be going over about 9,000 feet and then dropping back down. So quite a bit of walking. Total mileage today will probably be about 13, 14, something like that. Trail miles about 10-ish, something like that. So we're at about 181 and still got some climbing to do. I was wondering how much snow would have come down last day and a half or so. So it looks like very little. This is an example of kind of starting to get a little slushy, but typical snow walk. Don't need spikes for this. It's still early enough in the morning, it hasn't turned to complete slush, but it's not super icy. But this is what I'm going to be doing for part of today, probably for another maybe a little less than 8 miles with patches of snow like this. Temperature's great. It's in the low 40s and trail's easy to pick out, so doing good. This is just past Andy's Junction. Just a gorgeous view. I'm at 186.2, just filled up some water at a little stream up above there. And it's just a gorgeous day. The temperature is perfect. Clear blue skies. I'm heading downhill. This is a really, really good day. It's a spectacular day. So there's essentially been no new snow over San Jacinto, and I brought micro spikes, which are essentially chains for your feet. They've got spikes in them to help navigate on hard ice and stuff like that. Haven't needed them at all. It's been smooth sailing. So it's just a gorgeous day walking around. All right, we're at 189.5, and I got about a mile before the first acceptable campsite. Might go farther though, we'll see. So back there on Fuller Ridge, used my micro spikes for the first time. They were very effective. I slipped a few times before deploying them, not very far, but they were effective. Didn't slip after putting them on. Was able to hike faster, more confidence. And this ice here, it's like hardened crushed ice. Some of it's fallen from the trees that the ice freezes and then thaws and falls down in chunks. Kind of interesting looking. I'm not sure what these are. But they're really cool. I think I've heard them referred to as barber poles. And if I'm right, when they grow up, they are kind of long stalks, and they have white and red vertical stripes kind of along the stem, and then flowers at the top. So pretty cool little things you see on the trail. Alright, we got a milestone here. 200. Still feeling good. And we're just over. Down there is Highway 10, which I'll be crossing later today in a few hours. Alright, this is coming to the Highway 10 underpass. The word on the trail is there's some trail magic up here. But that's not it. Could be disappointed. Whether there's actual trail magic or not, I'm going to stop for some lunch. So, looks like there's some water here. I don't need water. We'll see if anything else. Howdy. Alright, so this is an example of trail magic rumor gone bad. Not going to be the last for sure. So there was no trail magic under the highway. I mean, it's Sunday, Easter. Not entirely unpredicted, but it's kind of a gut punch when the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 miles, you let your imagination run wild and dream of soda or something. Turns out nothing. You just got to deal with it. Although it is a gut punch. Keep on walking. So even though there wasn't trail magic under the I-10 overpass, this will give you an idea of the sorts of things that we take for granted, but that on the trail are really welcome. So no official trail magic, but I got to use a porta potty. It was out here by the side of the road, and just be thankful for what you got. So we're just past 218, and we're coming up on the Whitewater Preserve. This might be another thing that you don't quite expect in the middle of the desert. So this is Whitewater. All of this is, there's a river down there that I'm going to be going along for quite a ways, which is kind of cool. There's a nice spot, a preserve that I think used to be a trout hatchery, but now has been taken over by the Nature Conservancy, I think. Anyway, so we're going to head down there in a little bit, tank up with some water, and go up that White River. So this is Whitewater Visitor Center coming up, and many people have called this the Oasis of Eden on the trail. I think there's one comment that said, and on the seventh day God rested here. So hiker friendly. It's got potable water and just a lovely little place. Whitewater Preserve. Hello, hikers. There is breakfast.
He's a big guy out here, and I was like,
So here I am.
Thank you. And I just spent the entire night trying to find
Eating my third trail magic here at Whitewater Preserve. It's pretty good.
I was like, would you last see it? What?
We got some folks down there making us breakfast. It's awesome.
Yeah, excellent form, man. Excellent form.
So this kind of makes up for the not having trail magic under the I-10 underpass, but so this is an awesome way to start the morning.
You're not gonna make it.
In the lake here.
Here, okay.
I don't know, sometimes things happen, and then it's like right off, and then we
Miss you already, man. it's like he's still with us. I can still hear his voice.
Yeah. Alright, so just left Whitewater Preserve with a big pancake in my belly and a liter and a half in my belly, a liter and a half of water in my belly. This section here is walking up the White River, and apparently the trail was washed out a while back, and in this section for about a mile and a half, or not quite 2, people are calling it Choose Your Own Adventure, Choose Your Adventure. Just following the river along until it meets back up with the trail, the official PCT trail. This the trail before it got washed out followed the river a bit, so this is paralleling the river, as you can see. So I'm choosing my adventure, trying to stay as dry as possible along my adventure. So I chose my adventure well. I only got my feet damp. And some of you have wondered, how do you know where to go? Well, first off, there are PCT markers placed along the trail. You can still get off trail, but you can see this one coming up here, marking the trail up and out of this water canyon. So you also follow the footpath. Most of the time it's pretty obvious. So I'm back on the official PCT after choosing my adventure. From back there, following the water up and out. So now I'm heading up. So this is Mission Creek, and similar, but more so, to the Whitewater Preserve. This is a choose your own adventure. There's no real trail per se. You're just scrambling over rocks for a few miles, looking for the best route on the hardest ground. So it's slow going, but you gotta keep on walking. So this morning I made a classic mistake. Most of the time you can follow a footpath, but every now and then a footpath will steer you wrong. So I spent about 45 minutes not checking my GPS and heading up little canyon about 4/10 of a mile till I got to, and I'm following a footpath, but it got to a rock wall. So checked my GPS, and yeah, I was almost a half a mile deeper into a non-path. So turned around, found the path. So don't get cocky, don't get complacent. You don't always know where you are. And I made that mistake of not checking. All right, we're coming up on Highway 18. Our pickup point. Looks like there might be some trail magic. Let's see. Ooh, it's all Heineken. Oh, no sodas. But there is some fruit cocktail. I'll give that a shot. All right. So now I gotta get a hitch into Big Bear. Now, last time I was here with my super awesome trail angel a few months ago, scoping the place out, we went over there and picked like a gallon bag full of pine nuts and chewed on those for a few months. It was pretty awesome. But I've looked around and there's not much left anymore. So I'm gonna set up over here, hang a thumb out, and see how long it takes me to grab a ride. We'll see. Well, the first two not. It'll probably take a little while. Oh, no, I got a ride that quick. That's awesome. So here I am sitting fresh and relieved at the Robin Hood Resort in Big Bear. Based on the last video, you saw that I got picked up by hitching like almost immediately after getting on trail. So I don't know how usual that is, but that was pretty awesome. So a little bit more, I'd planned on talking a little bit more about last night and early this morning before getting picked up so quick. So last night was pretty cold. It was in the mid to low 20s. The campsite that I found was not a kind of an official campsite. It was a little teeny patch that I was able to find off of the trail. It was small enough that I couldn't even pitch a tent. So I cowboy camped last night, and checking the weather in advance, I saw that it was going to be in the low 20s, like 20, as low as 22 degrees. So I piled on all the clothes that I had and climbed into bed and alternating between rolling off of the pad because of the slight incline and going back to front, side to side. I didn't sleep great, but I did sleep and made it out pretty quick in, I think, 5.5 hours, something like that, to get out to Highway 18 where I was so quickly picked up. So I'm well fed and feeling pretty good, just relaxing here at the Robin Hood Resort. Life's good. All right, so it's 8 o'clock in Big Bear. I got my thumb out, see if I can get a hitch. It's I think it's impossible to get as quick a hitch as I got this last time, which is like literally like 2 or 3 minutes. But we'll see if somebody takes mercy on a old man PCT hiker. We'll see how long this takes. Thank you, Trail. You're a trail angel for picking me up.
I got you, dude.
Appreciate it, man.
No problem.
Good ride. All right.
Got you, bro.
Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Later. All right, so I'm getting on the trail just before 9 o'clock, which is pretty good. Ordinarily, I'm not getting on that late, but having had that hitch, it only took about a half of an hour of throwing out the thumb to get a hitch. Nice kid, gave him 20, got me here, and I'm all happy. We're just about 267. You can see these lovely little Indian paintbrush in bloom. This little purple one in bloom. It's just like a nice little natural garden. And this is the view when you pop out by that eastern ridge of Big Bear. And earlier today, I was right over there at the Robin Hood Resort. Great place, really accommodating for hikers, and just a fabulous day east of Big Bear Lake. There's a bit of a weather front coming in. You may be able to see up there. That is probably going to be snow up high, but I'm pushing forward to see if I can get down a little bit. There's a bunch of campsites at about 25 or 26 mile mark. So I'm shooting for those. They're down at just a little over 5,000 feet, and I'm hoping snow doesn't come down that low, but rain might. So if I make the goal, it'll be my farthest day of the trip, and it'll be right at about 25 miles, something like that. So it's mostly downhill. It's about coming up on 4:45, something like that. So I'm hoping to find camp at about 7 before dark. Still feeling pretty strong. Got plenty of water. It's just a matter of pushing it. About 292 and a half. Cool rocks. And we're above the Holcomb, well, they call it a river, it's not much of a river, but campsite's a couple of miles up ahead. It's a little after 6, and it's been a great day, almost all downhill, and I feel really strong. This is going to be my biggest mileage day, so we'll probably get to camp in another half hour, maybe 45 minutes, something like that. All right, nice little campsite near Holcomb Creek. Made really good mileage yesterday, so I'm getting a later than normal start. I'll head out of here about 7:30. So this is one of the many crossings, or probably half of a dozen crossings of Holcomb Creek. Just maybe a couple of miles from camp last night. It was great. The rain, some people even feared snow that they thought might come in last night. Nothing. It was just nice. So it's a terrific place. Oh, you got another milestone. $300. Cool. Still feeling good. Oh, 2,530 to go. Yeah. It's a long trail. All right, so yesterday, it's more annoying than anything, but I started off just kind of cool, then got a little bit of snow, nothing that stuck, it was just in the air, and then as I started going down in elevation, got rain, and most of the day it was just kind of a drizzly rain. And as I reached the hot springs, which is a hallmark to many people's hike, I really didn't care very much about it because I was already pretty wet, pants were pretty wet, kept my body pretty much dry and warm, and I didn't want to go into the hot tub or hot springs anyway, really. So started setting up camp. It was windy, Got a lousy pitch, but the highlight, I guess, maybe was the hail. Started hailing towards the tail end, and it was windy kind of all night. So I just got to camp early, set up a lousy pitch, and just hung out in the tent. Got a nice siesta, and slept well last night. It was just kind of a kind of day. So today's clear. Should be smooth sailing to about a 22 mile-ish walk to a little campground. Mostly decrease in elevation, so should be a good walk. All right, we're coming up on about 3:10 or so. And right down there is the Deep Creek Rainbow Bridge, which I'm going to be crossing in a few minutes. It's pretty cool. Alright, so for those of you that wonder what you do for water around these places, it's pretty simple. This is actually a really good water source. This is the stream I've been following, or creek I've been following for a while. I've got a nice little setup with my Camelback. So what I do is I look for kind of a deep spot where I can get in and scoop it up. Let me try that again, see if I can get a better shot. Scoop it up a couple of times. And that's pretty much the drill. So there's been a bunch of little creek crossings and stuff in the course of the last 300 and about 8 or 14 miles, something like that. And I don't think I've recorded one. So this one here might be a little dancey. You got a log that goes all the way across, which is great. It's kind of a skinny log. So we'll take her easy. No special ballet techniques. Okay, well what I'm going to do, I'm going to extend my trekking poles like about as far as they go, because there's a couple of spots in the middle there that might be a little better. Big long 140 centimeter poles. We'll see how this goes. I'm hoping for not wet, but if I get wet, no big deal. We'll see. All right, these are big, tall poles now. Go nice and easy. Now there's going to be real creek and river crossings in the Sierra where you actually have no bridge of any kind, and you just have to wade through it. So this is actually a pretty nice setup here. This section here is a little deep for the poles, but we'll see how this works. Oh, almost. One slip. One foot's wet. Oh. Well, that's not quite how it's supposed to go. But, all things considered, made it across. They're all over the trail and have been for days. I'm gonna have to look them up, see what they are. So I think these yellow flowers are bush poppies. I think so. Alright, we're coming up on mile 329 and a half. Silverwood Lake. A little breezy. About 4.5 miles from camp. Hello, hiker. We're about mile 342. And that over there is Mount Baden-Powell. Trying to figure out what to do about that, getting over that. It's an interesting little gorge. Kind of a steep drop off. We keep on going up this way. We're about 3.5 miles from McDonald's. Alright, so this indistinct McDonald's is part of the PCT. It's an icon on the PCT. If you ask any PCTer, are you going to or did you eat at McDonald's? This is the one they're talking about. It's right off the freeway. It's right before the climb to get you into Wrightwood. So people tend to be running low on food. And so this is where they come to stock up. And that's exactly what I'm going to do on the Cajon McDonald's. Hello, fellow dirtbaggers. Oh, now I see what's going on over there.
So, oh, it's even better.
Yeah, see?
So this is the
All right, so here, oh, we're missing it.
Yeah.
We're going that way, but that is along the tracks. Cool rock formations, but the trail's over here. This is just outside, it's like maybe 1.5 miles from McDonald's, and we're keeping on going because cool, we're not going to go very far, but I hooked up with a couple of other PCT dirtbaggers. Mountain Goat, Dan the Man, is that right?
Yeah.
So, having a good time. We're just going to get about 5 in or so and camp before Wrightwood. Alright, so this is an example of a PCT water and trail angel restock going on right now.
I'm good. We're on our way. We're getting a ride back to the trail.
So,
Yeah, I was just gonna carry
this is a big water cache. It's an important water cache because it's dry until you get to Wrightwood, which is about not quite 20 miles, but this is an opportunity for the thru hikers to load up on water for this dry section. And so we've got these awesome trail angels stocking up.
I'm going to use some of them. I think some of them.
All right, so I'm at about mile 345-ish, something like that. And we're at a kind of a unique situation here, but I'll show you. This is, it's about 6:30 or so. Set up cowboy camping with some folks that I hiked with most of today. But the cool thing that sold us on this location, you might be able to see up in the distance a ways here. When we came on this camp, there was a living room set. There's chairs. So we got here early. It was about an 18-mile day. And we were able to sit around in the living room set. There's a ton of water cached. I showed you in an earlier video. The trail angels caching all this water will fill up tomorrow because it's a dry hike for, oh, it's going to be a relatively short hike tomorrow. It's going to be about a 12-mile hike with about 3,000 feet of elevation gain and stuff. So not a ton, but it's going to be a slog, probably 5.5, maybe 6 hours hike, and that's when Patty will pick us up and drive us into Wrightwood. So cool campsite, cool day, fun at McDonald's, and we're gonna go to bed now. All right, we're coming up on 356.2, which is the suggested reroute location due to the bridge fire closure. So ordinarily he'd be going up there to keep climbing, and I suspect a couple of days I'm going to be climbing up that. I believe that is Baden-Powell. You can see the burn scar over there. So that section, I'm pretty sure, is part of the closure. But they've reduced the length of the closure in the last few weeks. So used to be that Baden-Powell was within the closure, but now it's outside of the closure. So we're going to take this dirt road down for about 3 miles to connect up with, that's Lone Pine Road or something like that. It's kind of a high-speed road. Looks like it's a hard place to get a hitch, so that's where Patty's gonna meet us up, down there. A little windy up here, but temperature really has been nice. All right, so here we are in Wrightwood. I got a hitch from a dedicated trail angel, Patty. She was right on schedule. I think we waited 15 minutes or something like that. She comes rolling around, drove into Wrightwood, dropped off F16 and Dan the man. They were going to do a quick resupply, but we're here at a set of cabins, I think called Silver Creek Cabin, something like that. Did a little bit of laundry this morning and drying the pants. They're pretty much dry, so I'll get them back in. But it's nice, a little hiker friendly, or it's actually Grand Pine Cabins. So nice little setup. where we are. Today's my 0 day. We've dropped off, last night we dropped off F-16 and Dan the Mans. They did a short Nero day yesterday. This morning we dropped off 4 other people. And I'm getting trail reports from them over Baden Powell. And I'm gonna go over tomorrow morning with another couple of friends I've met, but this is our little room. Nice little place. There's my dedicated trail angel, and we're just chillaxing. We'll get some Mexican dinner later today. But it's been a great time. This will be the last big resupply that Patty meets me at before the Sierra and during the Sierra. So we're sorting that out, getting my packages ready, and then it'll be off to the last half of the desert and then through the Sierra.